Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show podcast. So today's episode is going to be a review of Love Island 2019, episode 46. Today's episode overall was a bit boring, to be honest. I knew Anna and Jordan leaving would mean that there probably wouldn't really be any drama left in the show, and now it's becoming like, I guess what the original purpose of Love Island was like a love and relationship show, and without the drama it just it's just a bit boring, isn't it? I love me a bit of drama, but what do you think? Do you feel like it's better now that the drama has like subsided and now we can focus on couples and like the more romantic element of the show, or are we kind of bored and craving a little bit of drama? So after the dumping, India kind of says, she tells Ovi that, if they were the ones who had left, she wouldn't have been that upset because she would have been leaving with Ovi. If they were to have left, they'd only have been missing 3 days, so it wouldn't have been a very high stakes kind of dumping. I definitely feel like India is being very hyper aware and kind of feels like she needs to prove to Ovi that she isn't fake and she doesn't just want him so she can win and get like a piece of the pie of the 50k prize. And it's all going down in the bedroom with Molly and Tommy, but nothing's going on with Maura, and as we see, she's very frustrated. In recent times, kind of overly sexual, Maura has kind of toned down, but she definitely came out today. She's definitely feeling quite frustrated, very sex starved, and was saying like, how she was becoming fed up. Curtis isn't entitled to have sex or do anything sexual with Maura, but at the same time, it kind of raises questions of whether he is sexually attracted to her. They have done stuff, but I feel like the most that they've done is like dry humping. So I'm just kind of thinking, like, is Curtis even attracted to Maura to just be like dry humping her? Like, I'm thinking maybe he's just dry humping her and in his mind he's thinking of somebody else. He's making, these excuses. He's saying, he was tired. There was loads of drama last night. The fake baby drained his energy. All of these excuses. And, he's starting to make coffee again. And I feel like when Curtis starts making coffee early in the morning, I feel like that's kind of like a sign that he's not really that into you. So it's final dates. I think it's going to be like this episode, and the next episode is going to be like the final dates. And then Monday is the finale. Amber and Greg go on a date. We get some really nice shots of Amber's fantastic bum and her fantastic boobs. Like, they're just amazing, really. I feel like Amber should really come out with her own bikini line. They talk, they're on a boat, they're in the middle of like the sea or whatever. The sea looks really good. I'm actually quite jealous. I really want to go on holiday. But anyway, so they're on the boat and they're talking about how they have like this connection and how it was an instant connection, how they've never had an instant connection with anyone before. I like them as a couple on the show and I like them as people, but I'm not buying this connection thing. I don't really feel like they might, like, obviously they've been kissing and cuddling and stuff. I don't think there was an instant connection there. I don't think that they're both each other's like type. So I feel like on the outside it's probably not going to last long. I'm still not decided on who I would vote yet. I think it'd either be Ovi and India or Amber and Greg who I'd vote for. But I don't think any of the couples will work on the outside, really. Not even just Greg and Amber. I don't think any of them will last on the outside. Do you feel like Greg and Amber did have an instant connection, or do you feel like it's just bullshit? Or do you feel like Greg and Amber did have an instant connection, or do you feel like they're just kind of forcing it? So obviously Maura and Curtis go on a date. They've sorted out their whole kind of like sexual frustration issue. Maura says that she really likes him. Curtis says that he really likes her. and they start talking about meeting each other's parents. And again, another red flag for me, when Curtis starts talking about meeting your parents and introducing him to his parents, that's when he's planning his escape. Any type of commitment that Curtis promises you is a lie. And Maura should be able to smell that. Maura's talking about she's going to move to Manchester. I don't know whether that's purely for business or because Curtis is in Manchester. Really, if Maura's smart, she'll move to London because that's where the money's at, girl. Little dance at the end, and I'm not gonna lie, I was quite bored throughout all of that. And they go back to the villa, and there's this like scene where Curtis picks up a fat ass cockroach. He picks it up and then throws it in the bush, and then just goes back to his business, drinking his juice. Doesn't even wash his hands. And Maura, this is whose man's fingers you want up your fanny, who doesn't wash his hands after he picks up cockroaches. Girl, it was a blessing in disguise. Then India and Ovi go on their date, and it's just like the same thing. I feel like it was like the same date with like a different woman. Like, who knows, it could have even been the same woman dancing with the fire and the same woman playing the harp. Who knows? I wasn't really paying attention. Have their date, they have their little talk of, oh, I didn't think I'd find somebody, but I found you. And is it just me, or did India sound like a robot? She sounded like a robot that whole conversation, like, I didn't think I'd find anyone, but I found you. And then she, obviously in the preview episode, she says like, oh, I didn't come here for the 6'7", I came here for the 50k. And I instantly knew that was a joke in conversation. And it's just like so desperate editing, like so desperate by the producers. Honestly, I was actually offended that they actually thought that we are that stupid, that we're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like who the fuck's gonna admit that they're in the game, that they're gonna be coupled up with one of the most popular people in the house for 50k 2 days before the final? Who would do that? I don't even think Jordan would do that. There wasn't really much drama. Like the most kind of drama that they could kind of squeeze was the whole Maura and Curtis situation, which they resolved. See, tomorrow's episode is continuing the dates, and yeah, I just feel like it's going to be a very calm and tranquil 2 days, 2 final days. Like, I don't really think it's going to be worth watching, to be honest, if I'm completely honest, if it's going to be like this again. But what do you think? Do you like that it's like this, or are you just bored? So on Twitter, it's quite mixed for Curtis and Maura. Some people are saying, that Maura deserves better than Curtis and that Curtis is being fake and doesn't like her. Some people are saying that they're both being fake and that this whole situation is very producer-driven. And then a lot of people, as you can expect, are saying, how Maura is a sex pest, and how, they would be outraged. Curtis wouldn't be able to get away with what Maura is doing, like if the roles were reversed. And definitely, I think, Curtis definitely wouldn't be able to get away with that. Do I think that the relationship is fake? Yes, that's very clear that the relationship is fake. But, they're there to play a game, and I guess they both want to see how far they can get. And they've made it to the final, basically. They could potentially be top 3. I could see them being in the top 3. What are we thinking about Curtis? What are your thoughts on Curtis and Maura? And what is your thoughts on the whole kind of Maura being sexually frustrated and being disappointed that Curtis didn't want to have sex with her or do something sexual with her? It's very positive for Amber and Greg on Twitter. A lot of people saying that they want them to win and they love them together. And I've seen a few tweets saying that they know that they're not going to work on the outside, but they still love them on the show and hope that they win. And yeah, I'm kind of in the same mindset. Like, I don't think that they'll work on the outside, but I do like them as a couple inside the show. And hopefully, I don't think they are going to win. I think Molly and Tommy are still going to win, but I definitely could see them in the top 3. It's quite mixed for Ovi and India. Obviously, Ovi has a lot of support. Some people love India and Ovi together, and some people feel like the producers have intentionally made India have intentionally made India look bad and like a money grabber. And a lot of people are saying, do believe that India is using Ovi for fame or for money. I don't think she is. I think she came in, she had 2 options, Chris or Ovi. If any of you would have picked Chris over Ovi, please let me know. But either way, she's come in. Everybody on that show has not come into the show to find a partner. Come on, everyone's gone in there to look for, to gain fame, exposure, and, you know, to be blessed with the PR and the money once they get out. All of this, you know, she's using Ovi for the 50k, she's using Ovi for money. I feel like there's undertones with that she's like a gold digger or a money grabber, and she only wants Ovi for his money, undertones of that. So at the end of the day, with the whole 50k situation, India would not be dumb enough to steal the whole 50k. If they were to, let's say, if they were the winners of the show and she was the one who picked, she would split it with Ovi, 25k. And at the end of the day, India, she's done page 3, she's done webcam work. She has her own money. Trust and believe. I think they'll work on the outside. No, but I just don't understand why there is like this target of an ulterior motive. She's literally just played the cards that were dealt to her. But what do you think? Do you feel like India is suspect and Ovi should be cautious of her? Or do you feel like, you know, there's nothing to be made of this situation and that people perhaps are just jumping to conclusions? And yeah, if you haven't yet, follow me on Twitter. My handle is shannonfabuloso. That's shannonfabuloso. I usually live tweet during the episode, so feel free to at me with your opinions. And yeah, tomorrow's upload is going to be late because I'm just enjoying a day out with my friends. So yeah, I'm not going to be in for Love Island, so I'm going to just I might still upload it late in the night. Like I might get home in time for catch up, but if not, then it'll be up Saturday morning. Until next time, guys, bye.